What did you like most about that, Brett?
I think overall it was that we found a way to win both during the game but also before the game, given we had some guys come out of the side or Wiedemann come out late, and obviously Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody coming out as well meant a pretty significant restructure to our forward line. So we had to find a way in a pretty short space of time to find a way to kick enough goals, and also within the game when certain things weren't going our way to be able to make some adjustments and find a way. So I thought the pressure was really good, and for the large part, certainly our back 6 or 7 defended really well, which gave us an opportunity to go back the other way. So Gold Coast, we knew Gold Coast they're a very good contested team, around stoppage and ground ball, and even though Sydney were pretty dominant last week, Gold Coast still managed to finish in front in those statistics. So to do pretty well on that part of the game was really pleasing too.
Who came up with the idea of Kyle Langford being a marking target?
It's a team effort, Pete. Dale Tapping, our forwards coach, is he's talked before about Kyle's a difficult matchup, and he's at different stages. He's a bit of a Mr. Fixer for us. He can play in all parts of the ground, and he's played even in the ruck before, so he's a really versatile player. And we were keen to settle him down. He played a really important role for us last week, but it's just again a sign of his class and maturity that he was able to adjust his game and fit into a forward structure that is really based. We try and base it around system rather than personnel. So we were confident that we could keep playing the same system, even with probably a lack of height. And Harrison Jones played his role really well. He didn't get necessarily the reward on the scoreboard, but Perkins got the reward last week, Langford got it this week, and we're really trying to share the load. But I think we've got a lot of work to do. We're under no illusions, but to kick 35 goals in 2 weeks is a good sign.
Had you been considering settling Kyle at half-back even, as a ball user there?
Yeah, he did that for the majority of last week, but he will be, in a perfect world when you've got everyone available, I think he'll be the one who sort of goes where we need him. But if you'd said to us even 4 weeks ago that we wouldn't have McDonald, Tip and Woody, Stringer, Wiedemann, Wright, we're pretty light. But the report I just got, Pat Voss kicked another 5 at VFL level, and Hobbs is very good, Hind was very good, Stringer was very good, albeit against a pretty depleted GWS VFL team. But you can only play whoever's out in the field, and so there's some good signs for us too, that there's some flexibility there.
How close was Sam Wiedemann, and is he a chance to play next week?
Well, he was close enough to sort of leave him in the team. If we were sure on Friday, we would have just withdrawn him and brought in another emergency. But it's one of those ones that, look, potentially you could play with it, but our philosophy at the moment, and I think this is evident with our selection, that we're not going to set guys up to fail. And Jake String is a good example. I mean, clearly he's a very, very good player and an impactful player, but we want to give him every opportunity to play his best. And it's a message to our team that when you're in, you're fit, and you've got to play your part in it. And as coach, I want to make sure that players are set up for success, not for failure. And so the message to the medical staff was that unless he's very close to 100%, round 2, we'll play a fit player.
What's the update on Zach Thatcher, the ankle?
Yeah, the doctor said it looks like just a classic sprained ankle. He just rolled over on it. So there's no, these days it's heart in your mouth sort of syndesmosis sort of stuff, but there are no signs of any sort of high ankle issues. It's just it looks like he's just rolled over on a lateral ligament, and they generally come up pretty quickly. But again, it'll be the same. He was fantastic today. I mean, he's just playing on a superstar really. Even though he's 22, he's still a superstar. And he just competed really well for us. So he's an important player. But again, if he's not close to 100%, we won't play him.
Sorry. Has he surprised you with his first 2 games?
I think he probably surprised the competition. look, one thing we do know about him is he's a genuine competitor. So you shouldn't be surprised when you know that they're competitors and they compete like he did today. So, yeah, I mean, there are probably some other players in the competition that get more recognition, but, Thatcher will start to get more recognition if he keeps playing like that.
What was the thinking behind the substitution of Dyson Heppell?
Yeah, we wanted to get Guelphy into the game and we wanted to play him on the wing. So, it's a sort of a line ball call between about, 2 or 3 players. And, to be perfectly honest, when it's line ball, we really want to manage Dyson through this year and make sure that again, he's at his best. And so to be honest, when it was a line ball call, it just fell that way. But I'm sure it shocked him. I doubt he's ever been subbed off in his life. Yeah, and these things, you never telegraph a sub either, so it was probably a surprise to him. But I haven't even spoken to him about it yet. But he's as team-oriented as I've ever seen anyone, so he'll just play his part.
Do you think you'll need to speak to him, though, about that? I mean, it's difficult for a player of his class and standing potentially to get subbed off when a game's on.
Yeah, hopefully he watched Richmond play Adelaide and watched Dustin Martin get subbed off too. So you just got to make a call, and we felt at that stage of the game we just wanted to inject some run, and so it came down to 2, 3, 4 players in those positions, and so as I said, on balance, it's like, well, let's 6-day break, let's shorten Dice's game time and get Guelphy in.
What will managing him look like, do you think? Have you got a sense?
It'll just be assessing how he is, and he played every game last year, which is a credit to him, but I really think that it's a long season and we just want him at his best physically, so we'll just monitor him, and as soon as he shows some signs maybe of just fatigue setting in, we'll just rest him and bring him back in so that he's got every chance of playing his best footy. I think, out of a sort of a 23-game season, hopefully plus, post-season, if he plays 3/4 of those at a really high level, that'd be a great result for us. But that being said, he might play every game like he did last year. It'll just depend on how he's going.
You heard in public commentary about the team have been so much, long-term vision and very much, not worrying too much about any short-term fixes. How do you temper then the excitement that's going to come from a big club being 2-0 ahead of another big game against another 2-0 side, and just that sort of the fans that have been suffering for so long, just generally excited?
I don't want to dampen their excitement. I mean, I want them to be encouraged, but also to have an eye on what's coming through. And we keep talking about the need for stability, and when we keep talking about we won't make short-term decisions, and we're going to come up against some really, really good teams. And for us, every game's a hard game, and there are no easy games. But we want our fans to be excited, just also understanding that it is going to take us some time. And I thought again today, the last quarter, the game's in the balance. Even from the coach's box, you can hear the crowd get behind our boys, and we want them. The fans have got to understand what a huge impact they have on the team's performance, particularly late in games. And to have 20 inside 50s in the last quarter and the crowd right behind us, that was a really important factor. So I want them to be excited, but just keep their eye on the future and what we're building over time.
Thanks,
Ross. Cheers.